Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Here on my channel we talk about all things life and money, and I especially love budgeting. And so today I'm going to be showing you a mock budget for how you may want to spend a $20,000 income. But before we get into it, I want to let you know the budget template that I am using is kind of a condensed version of the budget template that I use for my personal household budget. I also have it available for sale on my shop. I will have a link to that in the description box down below so you can check it out if you're interested. I also do a ton of budgeting videos here on YouTube sharing my own personal household budget, so I will leave a link to that playlist up above if you want to check out more budgeting videos. And also, if you're not yet subscribed, don't forget to scroll down and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss when I post a new budgeting video. So today I'm sharing a mock budget for a $20,000 annual household income. And I want to start off this video by saying this is just how I would budget, but also budgeting really has to do with percentages. And so the more that you make, the more that you're able to put towards different categories, because you really want to have a good balance in your budget, and you can really determine if that amount is suitable for your income based on percentages. So the budget that I'm going to be showing you is more based on a percentage guide, and those percentages can fluctuate depending on the range of income that you have, but I know that a lot of people would look at this and say that this is not feasible and this is not how they would budget, and that's totally okay. Everyone has different circumstances and things are going to look different for you, but this is just how I would personally budget if I had a $20,000 income. So please know that there are a lot of things in this budget that you may want to change around a little bit depending on your lifestyle, but this is more of a budgeting framework to kind of help keep those proportions in your budget. Alright, so let's get started on this income section that we have here. The way that I break down income in our budget is I have my income and then I have my husband's income, and I list out like our different income streams. But for the sake of this budget, we're just going to assume it's just one person's income here, and that is going to be a take-home pay of $1,450. So $1,450 may be around what you would take home each month if you had a $20,000 income. This would be after taxes, and I know that this is going to vary depending on where you live, obviously, so this number could be different depending on those circumstances. But for these purposes, we'll assume $1,450 may be around your take-home pay for a $20,000 annual income. So we are using a zero-based budget, which means all of our income equals all of our expenses. So we want to assign every dollar a name in our budget, whether that money is going towards an expense or towards savings. So the first expense that we have here is giving. And I know that a lot of people may ridicule me for having giving in this budget, but my husband and I personally give 10% of our income away each month. And this is just always something that's been important to us. So I'm also going to include it here in this budget. If that's not something that you're into, then you can put it somewhere else. But we have set here to put $145 to giving. And as you can see, that would be 10% of the income that we'd bring home each month would go towards giving. The next line item that we have is mortgage, and I should actually say, or rent. So this would be your mortgage or your rent payment. And this amount we have budgeted to be $435 or 30%. Honestly, it's best to try and keep your rent or mortgage payment more at like 25%. For us personally, ours is at about 25 to 30% of our take-home pay is our mortgage payment. And that is such a huge chunk of your budget. And that's why you really want to watch the amount of your mortgage or your rent payment so that it doesn't consume too much of your monthly budget. So yes, that's $435. And I know a lot of people may look at this and say, that's unrealistic to find anywhere that you could rent for $435. This means that if you have a $20,000 income, you should be probably doing a couple things. First off, striving to make more money, whether that's growing in your career, taking on a side job, whatever that needs to be, or also finding a roommate. And that's just super realistic. That's kind of the way it goes, is that $435 may cover a split of an apartment that you rent with one or two friends. And that's definitely more realistic if you're making $20,000. I know that even for myself and my husband, when we first got out of college, we were each making about $32,000, and we could not have afforded to rent each our own apartments at that time. There's no way. And so we had a dual income, and together we were able to afford a one-bedroom apartment, and these percentages made a lot more sense, and we were able to keep our rent payment at about 25% of our take-home pay because we had that dual income. So I totally understand that, yes, living on $20,000, it's going to be really difficult for you to find your own place to rent for $435 a month. So I totally get that, but again, you really want to be careful of those percentages because that is what's really going to allow you to still be able to do other things in your budget. You don't want to have your mortgage or your rent payment substantially take up a huge chunk. The next line item that we have is utilities, and we have that at $72.50, which is 5% of income. And that would include things like water, garbage, sewer, phone, internet, any sort of utility, electric that you would have in your home. The next line item that we have is insurance, and this could be around like 10% of your budget, and that would be $145 a month. And so insurance types that you may be spending money on would be like a health insurance or a car insurance or life insurance. So looking at those different insurance plans. The next thing that we have is groceries, and that is $145 a month, and that is 10% of this budget. Honestly, $145 a month is super doable for like one person. If you're a single person making $20,000, that should be so doable. My husband Jacob and I, we're a family of two, and we spend $250 to $300 a month on groceries, and we eat out maybe like 2 or 3 times a month. So most of our food consumption is groceries, and we're able to keep a really low grocery budget. I did a video on how to save money on groceries, which I'll leave a link to up above if you want to check it out. But I think that this is super doable if you're one person. $145. Next we have is transportation or gas, and this should also be around 10% of your budget, which would be $145. And actually this may be a little bit high depending on where you live or what your life circumstances are. And again, this is why a budget is going to be different for every person. So if you feel like one category is too high or too low, you can definitely adjust that in your budget and make it to fit your life and your needs. So $145 for gas and transportation, whether that's a bus pass or your gas for your car or any sort of car maintenance items that you may have. I know that my husband and I actually spend around $150 for both of our cars to fill up on gas every month. So again, I think that this is super doable, and it actually could be a little bit lower. The next line item that we have is fun or entertainment, and we have that at $72.50, and that is 5% of your overall budget. So things that would go into fun or entertainment would be going on date nights, going to the movies, eating out. I think that eating out needs to be a whole separate category than groceries, because eating out is one of those things that we can typically go over on spending. So having that in the separate like fun and entertainment category is makes a little bit more sense, because that's more of what that is. So any sort of fun activities that you may have planned, that would go into this fun and entertainment category. Next we have is miscellaneous, and this is $72.50, which is 5% of the budget. It's always so important to have a miscellaneous category because there's always going to be something random that comes up in your budget that maybe you weren't expecting or necessarily planning for, and so you can put it to miscellaneous. A lot of things that we'd put to miscellaneous early on would be like household expenses, like we wouldn't be buying toilet paper very often or paper towels or things like that, and so being able to put it to miscellaneous, things like cosmetics, if I had to get a new mascara, I would just put it to miscellaneous. So for all those other things that don't fit in these specific categories, you can just put to miscellaneous. If you find that you're spending more money on something very specific, you can make it your own line item in your budget and be able to track it and budget for it in that way. So the total of regular expenses then that you would be expecting each month would be $1,232.50. Now, the next thing that we want to look at is savings, because that's also very important, or maybe you're working on paying off debt. So I have this next section in the budget template that I use, and that is putting money towards either savings or debt. And it would be great to put about 10% to savings or debt, and maybe even more if you can squeeze things out of your budget here. And that would be $145 a month. Whether you're trying to save for an emergency fund or you're trying to work on paying off your student loans, having this money to be able to work on accomplishing those financial goals. And obviously, if your debt payments are more than $145 and you need to find wiggle room, there are a few things that you can do. You can work on cutting out expenses, probably cutting out some of these fun things that you have in your budget, or finding other ways that you can additionally save, or also bringing in more income for your household, which is so important, especially if you're making $20,000 a year, because again, I know that that's really not a whole lot. So putting money towards savings or debt could be about 10%. It also really depends on like how serious you are to get out of debt or work on your savings goals. If you're really gung-ho about getting out of debt and saving, then obviously, yeah, you're going to want to trim out as much as possible so that you can pay off debt as soon as possible. The next thing that we have is personal spending, and that is $72.50. So that can be anything that you just want because you can. So this is just your fun money. So we have personal spending in our budget. My husband and I right now each get $100 of personal spending money. Our annual income is higher than $20,000, so it still works in those percentages for us. But for personal spending money, we can spend money on kind of anything that we want that doesn't fit into these categories. Maybe spending money on new clothes for myself, or going to Starbucks, or even something that I've spent my personal spending money on before is a pair of AirPods. So I like to have personal spending money down in the savings area, because that way you can just add to it each month and decide if you want to spend it or save it that month. And that's how we utilize our personal spending money. And I much prefer that, because then I can save up for something larger that I may want, like a pair of AirPods. So as you can see here, the total money that we have allocated in the budget is $1,450, and so that matches the income that we have, and we now have a zero-based budget. And that's really important to make sure that every dollar is assigned a name. So again, this is just solely a guide and a template of working percentages of maybe where you want to be allocating your budget. And again, it's going to vary depending on your lifestyle and your goals. And I know that doing a lot of these things on an annual income of $20,000 is very difficult. And so working on finding ways to increase your income is going to be very important, so that you can work on accomplishing some of your financial goals a lot faster, and also being able to enjoy more of the comforts of life. So I totally get that. I totally understand. So don't forget, if you want to get this budget template, I will have a link to that in the description box down below. The actual budget template has a lot more to it. This is just a really condensed version, so you can check that out on my shop. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new. I'm going to be doing budgeting videos on different income levels, starting a series, so definitely stay tuned for that. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will look forward to seeing you in that next video. Bye guys.
Did you ever stop and